Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a special event. I'll be pulling on two separate accounts as usual. I'll be pulling on my friends first and then mine because we have a 2x chance for legendaries. So we've got 16% chance for an epic and 1% chance for a legendary only on void shards. And then we've also got a 10 times chance from void shards for this legendary. We'll check out his skills. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a berserk debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be placed on bosses, which is a shame because it's actually a fairly decent debuff. And then we've got removes all buffs from all enemies, has an 80% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Also, when fully booked, it's a 100% chance, has a placing a stun debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. When you verse him in the dungeons at the higher levels, he is really, really powerful. So you already know he's going to be good without even checking his skills. Remove all buffs from all enemies is a really good skill, and then stun and decrease defense is crazy on a 3-turn cooldown. Then we've got attacks one enemy. Before attacking, steals all buffs from the target. The damage inflicted by this skill depends on the target's type. Attack will inflict damage based on the target's attack. On the target's attack, defense will inflict damage based on the target's defense. HP support / bosses will inflict damage based on the target's max HP. This attack will ignore 100% of the target's defense. If the target was killed by this skill, revives a random dead ally with 50% HP and 50% turn meter every 3 turns when fully booked. That is a crazy skill, especially since it's based on the target's attack. So if there's a decent multiplier and you've got you can just target the nuker and have a ridiculously hard-hitting skill. His passive is probably what makes him the most OP, especially as a boss. Every 9 turns, places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn and also applies a buff spread effect, taking all buffs from this champion and placing them on all allies. So there's no cooldown for that. Every 9 turns, it's not just his turns. So he gets first go, right? And stuns everyone, and they get goes. So if it's an enemy team of 4, so that's 5 goes. Your team get a few goes, and then on the 9th turn, it's the same as Sun Wukong's. Not on the 9th turn of your people. On the total 9th turn, also every 9 turns in total, will place a block damage. And even if there's already a block damage buff on him, it'll still place again. Meaning that, if you get a team tuned correctly, you can constantly have block damage. And then increases ally void speed in arena battles by 40%. That is a really, really good aura. You got, a really good team to have would be, you've got him, Arbiter, Georgid, they're all void, and that would work really, really well. You got your nuker, HP, and, support. So, yeah, definitely hoping to get him. He's incredibly cool, too. He follows the myths quite well. He's even missing one eye, just doesn't have a crow. Oh, wait, no, he does. I don't remember where I saw it. There's supposed to be a crow there. I saw it earlier, but... Alright, so we'll start off with single summoning, yeah. Hoping, even if it's just a rare, we're hoping for Painkeeper, who's a really good champion. Oh, we're out of slots. So I'll be right back. And we're back. So we'll summon one more single, and then we'll summon by 10, and then we'll go on to the next account. Painkeeper! Yes! Really good addition to the team. I know my friend has been waiting a long, long time for the Painkeeper, so this will be as good as a nice epic. Painkeeper, she's useful for only one skill, but she can, you look at her skills and she's not amazing, but she's actually way more useful than on paper. So you've got a normal attack, attacks one enemy 2 times, fills this champion's turn meter by 10%, damage based on defense and attack, which is pretty good if the multiplyer's alright. Attacks all enemies, then heals all allies by 15% of this champion's max HP. That's alright. it's really not amazing. That's if it's fully ascended. The damage and heals go up, damage based on HP and attack. But then this is the skill that everyone uses her for. Combat Tactics. So when fully booked, it's 4-turn cooldown, decreases the cooldowns of all ally skills by 1 turn. It doesn't say excluding her, so that becomes a 3-turn cooldown, I'm pretty sure. Then you gotta increases our HP and faction creeps by 21%, which doesn't matter. So that's really funny, because I was just talking about how I wanted a Painkeeper, so it's awesome. Now let's open by 10. This account hasn't gotten a Void Legendary yet, so that would be really nice. Renegade, I've heard that he's pretty good. Ooh, a Chemtum, he's pretty nice. Basher's a very basic epic. Ooh, Skimfoss the Consumed. 3 epics is pretty good, but sadly no legendary. Bloodhorn can be used for fusion, but that's about it. So I'll be back on my main account. Alright, here we are, we're back on my account. We've got double the amount of shards, so hopefully that's at least double the amount of epics and hopefully a legendary. So again, we'll start off with, this time we'll do 2 summon singles and then a 10, and then another 2 summon singles and a 10. So, we'll start off. I'm really hoping for Odin. He'd be a nice addition to my team because I don't have a controller. He's definitely someone like most people should pull for. Like, ooh, Fellhound! Ooh, he's very nice. A really good campaign farmer with his attacks all enemies, 25% chance of placing a decreased speed debuff, damage based on attack and defense. So most people will use him as their campaign farmer because of his AoE A1, if they can get him to nuke. His other skills are alright. Places 7.5% and continuous heal buff and a 15% reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. The thing is, this is on a 2-turn cooldown when fully booked. So that is consistent continuous heal and reflect damage. Then you've also got places a block damage buff on an ally for 1 turn, which is pretty rubbish. But then it's every 3 turns. But yep, definitely a nice rare as far as rares go. Cage Steadfast Marshal. Tree Shield Knot, I think, is actually a pretty decent reviver. Oh, what? No epics. Oh, legendary! Supreme Aethel! Let's go! I knew it! I just thought to myself, my luck with the Void legendaries is ridiculous. Like, my poor friend who's actually watching me open these right now, his account is cursed or something. He just cannot pull Void legendaries. He's got to be at his mercy system by now. He has not had a single one. He can't get like a really good Void epic. He just hasn't gone well with the Void shards. And my first Void legendary was not on a 2x chance. It was on a 10x chance for Hegemon. I got Georgid the Breaker. And then I got Aelil, who is another nice nuker. And now I've got Supreme Aethel and a nice epic too. Ashwalker used to be one of my favourite rares because, I mean, look at him. Look at him. He's like so cool. He's like awesome with his big hammer, and, like his cool scary mask. Let's check out Supreme Aethel's skills. She was part of an earlier. I think my computer's just broken for some reason, but there we go. She was part of an earlier fusion. So for raids. Plarium's like 5th birthday or something, they had Supreme Aethel, Supreme Elhain, Supreme Gaelic, and Supreme Kale. The 4 starter champions except legendary versions. And I think Supreme Aethel was summon 110 Void Shards and you got her. So, it's nice. Oh no, it wasn't. It was like a fusion or something, but it doesn't really matter. Attacks 1 enemy. If there are any enemies under a freeze debuff, also attacks them. Ooh. Decreases the enemy's attack by 3% when this champion hits an enemy with this skill. Stacks up to 30%. Also increases this champion's attack whenever they hit an enemy with this skill. Stacks up to 30%. Damage based on attack. That's pretty good. Like, that is actually a pretty decent skill. Then you've got attacks all enemies before attacking. Places a freeze debuff on 1 turn. for 1 turn. Will ignore strengthen, ally protection, and unkillable buffs, as well as 20% of the target's defense on enemies under freeze. Now that is good. If it ignored Stone Skin, that would be a ridiculously powerful nuke skill. It's really rivaled only by, we'll bring it up again, Georgia's A1, or A3, sorry, but that only attacks one enemy. Whereas this ally protection is a very good buff to ignore, because it means those big tanky supports, like, can't soak up all the damage. Strengthen and unkillable. Just block damage is more prominent than unkillable generally, but it's still good. 20% of the target's defense, so you just want to accuracy and attack up, really. Then we've got place of 50%, oh, that's on a 3-turn cooldown when fully booked. Places a 50% increase attack buff, a 30% increase crit rate buff, a shield buff, and a 50% increase accuracy buff on this champion for 3 turns. Then grants an extra turn. The value of the shield is proportional to this champion's attack. So she's actually like, her skills are very similar to Aethel's, in the sense like increase attack and stuff, and then extra turn. That's similar to Aethel, and then you've got the AoE that hits everyone. It's just the skills are actually a lot better. So then that one's like 4 turns when fully booked, so 3 turns. Then has a 15% chance when fully booked, has a 30% chance of placing a freeze debuff on attackers for 1 turn when hit while under a shield buff. 35 fully booked to 50 whenever a freeze debuff, when they're attacked on a, I'm really sorry, has a 50% chance of placing a freeze debuff on all enemies for 1 turn whenever a shield buff on this champion is removed by damage. And that's if it's fully booked. So that's really good. Like, that means someone nukes your shield off, you've got a 50% chance to freeze all enemies. That is good. Like, that is really good. I like that. She's definitely a freezer. Lots of control. Like, which is really good, you know? Definitely a really nice epic. Legendary. Oh my goodness, I'm saying epic. Sorry, I'm tired. Increases ally attack in arena battles by 35%, so that's nice. I just generally use my speed aura, but she looks pretty cool. I just want to know why she has white hair. Like, she looks like she's 30, so, like, but interesting shield. Not sure why you stuck a bunch of swords to it, but very similar to the old Aethel, like same clothes and everything, just like flashier armor. So probably not going to get, it'd be really funny if we got another legendary, but probably not. So we'll do 2 more, and then we'll see. So really happy about that, you know. Always happy when you get a legendary, but another Void legendary. I've opened less than like 150, probably less than 100 Void shards, and I've still got 3 Void legendaries. So I'm really happy with that. My luck seems to increase whenever I'm pulling on videos, but yeah. Justiciar used for fusions. Where are the epics? It doesn't really matter because we got a legendary, but no epics. Oh, that's a bit disappointing. 2 Mycelises. Oh well, got a legendary, so who cares? I'm pretty excited about that, you know. Just want to always like looking at champions once you get them, you know. We'll see. Here we go. Supreme Aethel Void Legendary! Sacred Order 2. I've got quite a few Sacred Order legendaries, but it'll help me progress in the crypt a bit more. The base attack is pretty good. 600. That's on level 1. If we go in index, we'll see. I just want to see what it is when. So yeah, 1,500, and so she's got pretty good base attack. I'll check her out on Hell Hades later. You should check your champions out on Hell Hades too. It's a very useful website. I'll provide a link in the description. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, and hopefully you have similar luck to me.